What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. It is the 20th day of March, and here we are sitting at about $0.00533 with roughly 11 hours left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Here we are. Here we are, and here we've done it. From a low point here to a high point here, we've back tested our golden ratio area for support, and we have found support. We actually closed right at the golden ratio, moved down into the zone, and moved back up with a decent bit of strength. We're going to look at the short-term stuff and find some significant stuff that we did there as well. But overall, we've had points of resistance here. We had a closing point of resistance here, some wicking resistance here, right there, some support back here. And that's exactly where we found support, is in this zone. Beyond that, it's the golden ratio zone. And beyond that, we have maintained our higher low structure, which is awesome. Right? We can go lower. If we see a lower low, don't get discouraged. We just want to maintain higher lows. That's really all that's important here. But because we've moved down, because of this area of significance that we are potentially finding support at, it would be nice if we could move up and kind of break out of this lower high, lower low structure that we're in right now. We'll go over that, okay? 1 hour time frame. Looking at this here, first and foremost, right away, I don't see any gaps to the downside, which is good. There's a little gap here, but it looks like we actually came and filled that this hour. I mean, we can go a little bit lower, but still, it looks good. We do have a gap here to the upside, which has not been filled. We have another gap here from a closing price to an opening price that has not been filled. Let's see. Are there any other gaps? I know that there are gaps at higher prices as well, but just relatively speaking, there are two gaps to the upside. There are no gaps to the downside. That's good. That's nice. That gives me the implication that, hey, if we move up to fill this gap from here, we move up like this, we stand a chance to break out of this trend, right? Now, that in itself, that gap fill, doesn't in itself break us out of this trend. But again, when we get up here, I mean, just imagine you're here and you're thinking, oh, we're not going to break out of this trend. Well, when we're up here, you might start to think, okay, maybe it's possible. Maybe it will happen, right? And again, this trend line might not be exactly what we're looking at. Maybe it's this trend line that we should be looking at, in which case it wouldn't take as much price to break above it. But this is a low volume, low liquidity, low market cap coin. The rules can be a little bit less rigid. So don't just get excited the second that we get above either of these trend lines. Okay, don't get excited as soon as we do that. We want to see candle body closes, and we want a little bit more compelling evidence, not just getting right above it, but separation. Okay, nonetheless, it'll definitely be exciting whenever we show that we're doing something different here relative to this channel that we're in. Okay, as we're moving down, no volume's really coming in at all. The biggest spike in the 1 hour volume that we've seen really has been coming to the upside here, and then at the very, very low point here where we reversed. Okay, this wick on the 1 hour time frame, this wick here filled this gap that we had back here. So we filled the gap to the downside. There's no more gaps below, at least as far as that I'm aware of. I mean, we look good. We look ready to go. That's awesome. The RSI is breaking out of the 1 hour lower high trend that we had. Kind of reminds me of Bitcoin Cash here. And notice what's going on with Bitcoin Cash. It's not like the most obscene, or it's not obscene. It's not the most fantastic breakout ever. But we are moving up. And what we did here was we broke out of our 1 hour trend, and the path that followed took us higher. That's the whole point that I'm trying to make there. Same thing here. We're breaking out of this trend on OnyxCoin. We're probably going to go higher. We're probably going to see some retracement from here. And again, the thought is, do we break that trend level? I think we will. In other words, I like the RSI. From here, I like it. It is weak, it is neutral right now, but I think it's taking a bullish posture. The stochastics are back at the 50, perfect area to bounce. The MACD had some bullish divergence. We're exacting that divergence now, and we actually might be coming up to break through the zero level here, which would be awesome. That'd be great. 1 hour time frame, not the most significant thing, but that's okay. 4 hour time frame here, if we're looking at this, we've got higher lows here. Right away, you can see this low here, higher low here, while getting lows here and a lower low here in the RSI. Hidden bullish divergence is what that is. You're going to get hidden bullish divergence all the way through in these parabolic structures. Stochastics coming out of the oversold zone, nice. And then the MACD here finding support right around the 0 level, that's awesome. Great, all good things. It makes sense that you would bounce here. And then again, right, did I mention that that we are at the golden ratio zone to find support? Did I mention that? We closed right at it, and now we're moving up like that. Good stuff, guys, good stuff. From a fib perspective, taking everything else out of context, just the fib perspective in itself, it's very common to go from your golden ratio on the first attempt and find support. This in itself doesn't mean that we're going through the heavens. It could mean that we find resistance here and that we come down. It's very common when working your way down that you find support at the golden ratio on your first attempt, you find resistance here, and you return back to the golden ratio, thus pushing you down here or even lower, okay? So the expectation here is that we will at least move up to 00551, 00576. What we want to do is exceed that expectation. Coincidentally, breaking through this classic resistance zone here, this little box of whatever the opposite of glory is, the box of resilience, will also come in line with breaking out of this trend line of despair. And once we break through that, once we break through both of these key significant levels, either from a fib perspective or a price perspective, up and up we go, up and up we go. And when OnyxCoin moves up, it likes to move fast. And here's the deal, guys. Beyond OnyxCoin, just looking at this for what it is, in any type of parabolic structure, typically what happens is as you progress, and the way I drew it here, it looks like you broke out of it, but that's not, I just can't draw a curve. I can do it. I can do it. There we go. Does that look better? With parabolic structure, as the moves go, they get bigger. They get bigger and bigger. You guys remember yesterday we were comparing the parabolic structure, and I'm not saying this is what we're going to get, but I'm just saying the parabolic structure here from the 2015-2017 cycle. The moves only get bigger and bigger and more robust. They only get the slope of these angles only goes up as time goes on. Same kind of expectation here, right? The move itself should only get stronger, stronger and stronger. Daily time frame, looking at this. Rejected the overbought area. We're back at the 50. Perfect area to find support. We can afford to go lower. If we do go lower, guess what? We still have these higher lows coming in with the RSI. I'm not worried about it. We could find support at the 40. We could find support somewhere in between the 50 and the 40. I wouldn't want to see us go too much below the 40. But I don't even think we do that. I think we find support here, and that's awesome. And if we do find support here, and we start moving up, the thought then is we're going to get overbought. You get overbought, man, that's typically a signal that you're going to break out. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. I don't even want to say what I was about to say. It's bullish, but I don't even want to get into it. Just think about it like this, okay, real quick. On all these pumps here, notice the overbought zone, you got into it, and then once you were out of it, you never got into it again. Once you got into it, you didn't get into it again for a while. Once you got into it, you didn't get into it again for a while. If we bounce from here and we get overbought again, in a sense, that's a more bullish reading than we had here. Might we promote a more bullish move as a result of that? The last time that we got in and out of the overbought zone in any kind of consistent fashion, well, we did some pretty spectacular things. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not trying to get you, I don't think we're going to see a 20x from here, but if we do, I would love to be wrong. I'm not going to sell on a 2x. So if you want to throw us a 20x, go for it. That's great. I'm not going to say no. I don't think anybody will be upset with that. That's not the call. Just a thought. Again, the thought is typically when we do this, it's some time before we get overbought again. Where right now we're getting very strong implications that it's not going to be some time. So this is bullish. Getting in and out of the overbought zone is very bullish, you guys. Just like getting in and out of the oversold zone is very bearish. Okay. It's these standalone moments which we don't really have. Let's see. Any standalone moments like this, those are the bullish ones. But the consistent behavior, those are the bearish ones. The stochastics don't look bullish necessarily here, but we are potentially finding support at the same areas that we found resistance before. We have found support in this area before as well. The MACD is crossing above the 0. That's awesome. Good things. Good things. The stochastics is the one thing that's giving me a little bit of grief. Other than that, I like the RSI. And I like the MACD. And the stochastics are not a deal breaker. I mean, we've been moving sideways and we're choppy. It's probably less reliable anyways. But this is definitely a good signal here. Anytime we see this, we get some pretty fantastic moves. Okay. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I think I've said it all. I mean, we keep building this bullish momentum. That's good, guys. I would like it if in the next 2 days, 12 hours, by the end of this week, probably like 2 days, 11 hours. I would personally like it if we did pull up the price a little bit. If this candle can lift the body up and show more of a wick beneath, I think that would look good. But even if we close here, as long as we're building bullish momentum on our MACD, I don't really have a problem with it. I wouldn't like to see this die off. That doesn't necessarily mean death, but it would be a little bit discouraging because this is actually a very powerful thing. We want to continue building deep green, not the pale green on the histogram. Okay. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.